Hey guys, Stoic here. As you can see, I'm flying high because I'm pretty excited today. 1.14.3 is going to be released pretty soon, and it has a new mechanic that's going to change our iron golem farms back to almost the way they used to be, high powered. So there's a new mechanic that when a villager is panicked, he will increase the spawn rate of an iron golem, and it also um, changes the fact that we do no longer need beds. We no longer need workstations. And there is no limit on when the golem will spawn. It used to be a 0 to 2,000 tick or a 9,000 to 12,000 tick time frame when the golems would spawn for 1.14.1 and 0.2. That is not the case anymore. It will spawn round the clock with this new design. All we gotta do is send our villagers into a panic. And for that, we're gonna use zombies. So stick around, take a look. This is a very simple, barely bigger than a chunk iron farm that produces 300 iron per hour. Seriously, it's 20 by 20 by 17 high, barely bigger than a chunk, and but I'm getting 300 an hour out of it. So stick around, and I'll show you how to build it, and hopefully it works great for you as well. All right, guys. So what we're gonna start with is a double chest, and we're gonna come around the back and throw 4 hoppers. Crouch into the back of it. Okay, and then grab your glass. Well, you can use whatever you want. I'm using glass, but you can use any block you want here. And just come all the way around, okay? And then what we're gonna do is, I'm only making this high enough, just high enough, to provide some separation between the golem burning down the bottom and the villager up at the top. So that, you know, he tries to spawn another one. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be a total of 5 from the bottom. That's for the golem. And then I give 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 between the golem and the villager. And then what we'll do is 2 blocks high for the villager. All right, and then on top of that, we're going to build our platform. So you can go ahead and throw your solid block if you're not using solid blocks already right there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out 3 more for 4 wide with my platform block, and then I'm just going to do that all the way around. So 4 there, and fill that in. Leave the center open. That's where your golem's going to be falling in at. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to bring the glass up to the bottom of your platform. Okay, once you've got your glass all the way up to your platform, we're going to go ahead and start making our platform where we're going to hold our villagers and our zombies. I do want to make mention, because I didn't say anything, but you do want to make sure you fill this in with glass 2 in front. If you're using solid blocks, make sure that these 2 bottom blocks are glass. If you're using glass, you can still open your chest, but if you're using solid blocks, you won't be able to. So you'll need to use stairs or glass blocks right here, okay? So what we're gonna do is this can be, you'll see off to your left, I'm posting my test results. You can run this off 3 villagers, that's the minimum. I'm gonna build this for 8. You can do it off 1, 2, 4 zombies. I'm going to use 2 zombies, 1 on the opposite corners. That way you will affect both sets of villagers. The idea is to spread out your villagers as much as possible. So if you use 1 zombie, you'll be able to put villagers on 2 sides. If you use 2 zombies, you'll be able to put them on all 4 sides. If you use a minimum of 3 villagers, you'll at least be able to get them on 3 sides with 2 zombies, so on and so forth, okay? You'll kind of get the idea of how you can modify it for the number of villagers you want to use. But, you know, that graphic I showed you kind of gives you the rates. There's not a lot of difference between 2 and 8 villagers, or 3 and 8 villagers, sorry. 3 villagers, 297 iron per hour is what I got. I got 330 with 8 villagers. It's a difference of somewhere over 700 iron per day, but you're already talking, I mean, at 300, you're talking 3,600 iron per day. So I guess it just matters how much iron you need. But this thing, for how simple and small it is, it'll produce a monster amount of iron for you regardless. we'll go ahead and carry on here, and you can decide how many villagers you want to use, but I'm going to use 8 villagers and 2 zombies in this. What we're going to do first is build this out 2 deep all the way around. And so we're going to put our zombies in the corners here. Now, you may want to, put some of your walls up. You'll see the structure. You got to decide how you want to get your villagers up here. I know how I do it. I actually will knock out this block, and I'll put a solid in there temporarily. I'll run, because this is where my zombie is. And so what I'll do is I'll put a block there, a block here, block here, block there, and I will run my zombie up here in a rail cart. I'll basically trap him in a fenced in area, put a rail car underneath him, run him up here, and then I will close this in. Of course, the platform will be here over the top, so he can't step over this block. And then I'll basically, when I'm done, after I get him in there, I will break the minecart and throw a block right here, okay? And then he's in there. He's in that square. And then I like to all look uniform, so then I'll break this out and put my glass block back, okay? But you can kind of do it however you want, but this is where your zombie's gonna be. We're gonna have our villagers here, so we'll put blocks there. And then again, I'm not gonna have anything here in the corner. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna fill in that. Now, if you wanted to have more than 2 zombies, you could leave that open and put another zombie there. Come across here. And again, in the center are 2 villagers. Now this is going to be the opposite corner. So I'm going to put my other zombie here. All right, and we'll block him in away from the villagers. And then this one will be completely blocked in. And 2 spots for the villagers. All right, so you can kind of see you've got a spot here for a zombie, 2 spots for villagers, 2 spots for villagers, spot for a zombie, 2 spots for villagers, 2 spots for villagers. So basically what will end up happening is you'll have this zombie that'll be panicking any villagers on these 2 sides. And then over here, you'll have a zombie panicking any villagers on these 2 sides. All right, so let's go ahead and start on our platform. You're gonna come out from any side, it doesn't really matter, 8 more blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. All right, now once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and connect out, you're going to connect all these endpoints. All right, now that we've got all our endpoints connected, we're just going to fill in these 4 areas. All right, so when you're all done, you should have a 20 by 20 platform with a 2 by 2 section in the middle open like this. All right, so let's go ahead and come down here, and we're going to put down glass blocks. Now, you can use a solid block on the bottom, but the top needs to be a glass block. If you want to use 2 solids, you can. But you just have to then put a slab on top, something that's non-spawnable. You can run buttons all the way across the top. There's a lot of options there. Just want to make sure that this is not spawnable, the top of this, top of your wall, okay? But yeah, I'm going to use glass blocks all the way around 2 high. All right, now that we're done with that, you're going to find a spot. So you want to come from this hole here, okay? So find your center line of that hole, and you want to make sure you want to go over 6, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to throw down another set of blocks here, okay? Diagonal across like that, okay? And then you want to do the same thing over here. You can also just come 4 from the corner, it looks like. 2, 3, 4, and then across. All right, and that should give you basically 10 blocks in between. If you don't have 10 blocks in between, something is off. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoops. All right, so we're good. Next thing you want to do is grab your water, and you're going to basically fill in between these corners, all right? And then you're going to throw a water bucket in the corner, all right? So here we go. Make sure you get all of these as source blocks, okay? So you can skip them, but make sure you get that last one in the corner there. Okay, if we did that right, you should have a hole here in the center with no water flowing down it, okay? It should be flowing right to the edge. Next thing you want to come in do is break out these blocks you'd put in there. I would stand up here and do it. Otherwise, you're going to fight the current the whole time. All right, so that's the top, all done. Now, for I can come down in here and put my lava in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it from the bottom. That way, in survival, you'll know the easiest way to do it. And it's really just simple. You just step in here. And you need to basically throw a sign up on 2 opposite sides. So if you have your door in right here, you want to come up. You want your lava on the 3rd block, so you want to come up on the 2nd block from your hoppers. 1, 2, and you need 4 signs here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we're just going to grab our lava, and we're going to tap. You're going to be okay. This should not fall in on you. So we're just going to basically put our lava on these 4 blocks, okay? You could probably get away with just 1 bucket of lava. It should spread across. All right, we'll fill that back in. All right, so that's set for our golem. And when I come back, I'll have the villagers and zombies in here, and we can see this working. Okay, so here we go. And as you can see, we're already getting golems. The last thing I do need to make mention of is with your zombies. So you'll see I've got basically two on each side, and he is already making them panic. They are in a complete meltdown, okay? Calling out for those golems. So one last thing though you do want to make sure of is on your zombies, you do need to name them with name tags. You can get these from fishing, you can get them from treasure chests, I believe. And easiest way to get them those to find a librarian villager, get them to master level, and you can buy them from a master level librarian. But you do need to name them, because if you when you venture 128 blocks away from this iron farm, they will despawn if you don't. All right, and they should never burn up because they're underneath this awning. So don't go crazy lighting or anything, but lighting should be okay. But just as long as you should be using solid blocks here anyway, because for the iron golems to spawn on, and they'll never burn up. Just make sure you tag them. Outside of that, this thing, like I said, will produce around 300 iron per hour, depending on how many villagers you use. And it's hey, iron farms are back, man. It's I'm excited. So no longer we have to put up with the slow rates of our iron farms from 1.14 1 and 2. So hopefully this will help you guys out. It's a real simple farm, one that I think is, like I said, it's just really easy to build, real simple, and I think it'll be handy for survival, for modified survival, vanilla survival. Doesn't really matter. It's just a real simple, easy resource iron farm that produces a ton of iron. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button, and I would encourage you to subscribe. We appreciate the support. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.